in a slower market is that if you see an agent trying to get an offer out of you prior to auction, then it's usually a bit of a clue to the buyer that you might be the strongest interested party or the only interested party, in which case going to the auction is fabulous, because the pressure of auction, the fact that the owner does want to sell, the agent wants to get the deal together, you're the only one there and it's really obvious you're the only one there, then that's a real advantage for a buyer who knows what they're doing.
Just finally, on this part, Veronica, I know you're based in Sydney, but it's probably a national question. As the market is cooling, do you recommend to be the first bidder to get the market going? I mean, sometimes we see auction is trying to get that first bid out and people are all standing back. What do you recommend in that position?
Look, I don't mind being the first bidder, but I often will hold back as well. So it very much depends. If I know there is other interest, and certainly the great thing about New South Wales, for instance, and Queensland and some other states, not Victoria, that you have to register. So therefore you can get there early and you can watch people register. So you know if people have actually got a bidder's card or not.
Great tip.
And if you're the only one, then, why not put the first bid in? Because let's face it, if you don't bid, you're never going to buy that property. Just don't put it in too high, but don't go silly buggers either. Don't go ridiculously low. I mean, you're there to buy a property. So let's just start negotiating. And that's all it is. It's just public negotiation, really. And so once again, if you know what that property is worth and you know how far you're prepared to go to, well, then you shouldn't need to go to your upper limit if you're the only bidder. But on the flip side of that, when you get to an auction and you see lots of other people are registered, I might hold back and I might actually say, okay, well, who's serious enough here and who's agitated or, edgy enough to actually come out of the box earlier.
The highest bids here, $992, 43 of 12 Leicester Street in Marrickville. A beautifully presented two-bedroom home, lovely high ceilings we're enjoying. We are selling. So, ladies and gentlemen, my instructions are to sell under the hammer. It is your bid, sir, but the good news is if anybody else wants to buy the property, you still can, because I'm going to call it 3 times before the gavel falls. But we are playing for keeps. No second chances. It's your bid, sir. Buyer number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we are selling under the hammer. $992,000, 43 of 12 Leicester Street, Marrickville. First call. Second call. For the third and final time at $992,000. We're all done, all finished, all sold. Congratulations, sir. $992,000. Have I got my answer as the gavel goes into the back pocket? $1,370,000. Feel free to pull it out again, though. $1,377,000. We're selling, sir, once, twice, third and final time. Hammers up. All done. All finished. Are you sure here, sir? Are we done? All silent. Sold, sir. Congratulations. Buyer number 36, $1,377,000. 3 of 23 Pacific Street, Bronte.
Clancy, good afternoon to you. Breathtaking aerial views of this property straight off the bat. Tell us a bit about it.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Look, it's positioned just north and east of hinterland on 50 acres. Plenty of water if you're into your hobby farming. Great grazing land, but obviously the highlight is the Duchess of Cedar Pocket being the house. 492 square metres, 240 square metres is deck space alone. Beautiful brush box timber floors throughout. Lots on offer here, that's for sure.
It's a really well-placed property as well as a historic one. Obviously pretty well known in the area, sitting so proudly on the crest of the hill there.
It is, absolutely. It's you can see glimpses of it from the road at certain parts, but also it's very private to a degree as well. It does have a 400-metre sealed driveway. So, yeah, it's got the best of both worlds. You can see glimpses of it from the street while still having plenty of privacy.
Now, Clancy, could you tell us a bit about what's brought it to market now?
Look, the owners built it about 5 years ago, so it's actually it's still quite a new build, although it's been designed to obviously look a lot older than it is. The owners, yes, they've done what they need to, and they're now wanting to travel around Australia, and it's time it's become somebody else's dream home.
And it also looks like it's got the mod cons, even though, as you said, it's got this traditional feel. It does look like an older home. You can see those big solar panels on that rather impressive shed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very impressive 3-bay double-depth farm shed. It has 10 kilowatts worth of solar. So, yeah, the shed's definitely going to suit most people. Obviously comes with cattle yards, 3 fully fenced paddocks, The dams are all spring fed. It's quite dry up here at the moment, as I'm sure most know, and the overflow of the dams are still running, to give you an idea on just how good the water is in that particular part of the region and this property.
Now, you said it's a hobby farm. What kind of farming is it used for?
Look, cattle mostly. I mean, anyone, you could do quite a bit on it, but cattle's probably the most popular type of farming in the region. Dairy farming in particular, but I can see people running upwards of 20 head all year round on this particular property.
Now, Clancy, you mentioned the overflow from the spring water, and I have to therefore say, Clancy, of the overflow, I can't resist it. For people who want to see this, for people who want to see this property, Clancy, how do they do so?
Look, call me today. We'll see up an inspection time. Yeah, looking forward to hearing from anyone that's interested.